Me dunyame areme out. One no lawyers, you can even have the whole million lawyers in Ghana. Me no be con boot for boot until this well, me no ba could be free mo. It's a sworn enemy and a path we are not going to stop.
Kokwana se nyado be janasimu. Waso anasimu se no. Ube miena saa kopimi se bejeta ba ku be wafri asasi so. Kwaku ana wadwabuta. Okotena CTV enu wodi nkomo. Enu okofa anasa sembe. Most be din kan ka che se kwaku ana anasa ye ni be pen ma yi hu video nyina kire wo. It kono oni anasa ni mienu omo ntokwa gidigidi bia anasa nyawe omo ntokwa ba. Kwaku ana ise oni anasa no ba ku be kunu hu afri Ghana ho. Enya de obejale muda. We did what ya be a chire de adutwam. What the anas a unedited a unseen a behind the scene no or the abab on taina just say all pointy anas stay be a binanyasam kuto mubian
anas areme your anas are on share mask me be natural Ghana for some no onini anas no or share mask no anu mi no but my main can say the share mask no say your no so and the mi be yi on share mask na your no then ye bisa so mrefia. But so him say enyo no a the American say he should shut up wherever he is. Penny ka say me say him say wo kotu benu so mo konto kwa e mi say o say ba ne say o bisa o say na no na ba ne say eno ene be ma wasem wetimi hu asem ni mu yie. I Kwaku amete I have been a victim of how Anas aremi Anas eye na adwuma. Somewhere in 2015 I wasn't on TV, I was on radio. Me wo ho. Then a group of chiefs coming from East Dadekotopon. Munim East Dadekotopon. Womo ba me office. Na me wo radio so be catch them say they want an investigation and this is not the first investigative program I'm running. If you care to know. Womo ba ye omo see me running investigation on so and so me say but this is a journalist I know, a friend because me ni nya ye adwuma pen Anas areme Anas. Womo say yes. Na me say Assembly womo see he is encroaching on their lands. With the whole of East Dadekotopon, Honomini Ade. I'm so, are you guys sure? Anas, Anas, no, he's not closer to any stuff like that. Yeah, argument in then at a point. What happened is saying, I have to go on the ground. So, I needed to go on the ground. But before I go on the ground, then I place a call to this Anas without mask. Only then to place a call to him, say, Anas. Yes, sir, what James said, you Chado, and then for is this true? Or say, bro, it's not true. And that he's going to buy a land. And a land will be person or jail assassin free him. And at the end, okay, can say me nanam say no, come forward, me new como. Or say no, me need time so I'm about forward because why busy financing I'm saying no problem. Then I have to go on the ground to check, collaborates what I was told to that of what is being put out there. Only to go and realize, as someone I have for no more is that the Kotopon de Baino. Necessarily the Nkumenkuma. What? Avalanche of complaints, accusations, allegations, including say people I spoke to, some were politicians, some were businessmen, including the Roman Catholic Church, the big church in Chado. Roman Asofwe. Any friends and sister Teresa, when we never complain, say, Anas is encroaching on their lands. How? And if some of you care to know, there were ministers, including a minister like the former minister for friends and local government, Martin J. Kosa. Anas, Anas, Ofri Bimbila, Northern Region. So the question is, then I was 7 crown for assassins. Sir, is that the Koton Ponsasi a young crown for dear? At a point, there were 2 families fighting on the land. One called Terry Attach Nachefo. Woman a cofa Anas Areme Anas by so no more fighting because of Anas, has built the clouds and his image and blah 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 into Omebwam. Only then Anas came Anas abe entrenching and realized said no. And Krofonu need the capacity to match. So he knowing the in and outs of the system, so take advantage over the situation. This is how Anas got himself in the lands in Chado, where John Mahama lives now. Anas was accused of dropping land gas all over the place. Now, the trust that was formed by Peter Lajeteno eventually went into another transition. I was so overwhelmed. And I'm saying, what is going on? every move to bring Anas closer for us to understand what is going on. Or say, so we realized that no, what we need to do is that we have to do a documentary about this. Is this the guy who claims to be the self-righteous, the gatekeeper? Then. Now, on radio, then I had made an announcement, said, this is what is going on, and we need to put this documentary out for Ghanaians to know. Because Anas, and we think that he's not the person he claims to be. Ghanaians, guess what? This was in 2015. Oh. Once we were plotting to do this documentary, Anas was preparing to release his number 12 documentary of Kwesi Nyantakyi. Now, when Oscautio, who said no, at that time, I had come to interview him about the issues going on in Chado. Quickly, no, yes and no. He has to discredit this journalist, Kwaku Annan, first before anything comes out. How he managed to sense, he said, no, I was plotting to do a documentary to expose him. I don't know. I was there just one particular time. Making them say, I kept say 2 weeks for him to drop the number 12. So the atmosphere was charged. Then a gentleman by name called Kwaku, whose name surfaced in the last conversation between Ahmed and then Vince Amache, that boy Kwaku, another useless idiot. Osumano, and I didn't know who this guy was. This boy calls me and says, Opeso ni mi di nkomo in terms of opeso share me. Dem ni ko share wa Afrikiko. Ye ko share branche say, me wofa eka number 12 na eba no, and that ne wofa any Kwesi Nyantakyi. Akoye business of $1 million say sika no. Aye bi me ne wofa na adwane akɔhye bunu ho baby because of the expose. Nam si really na womati say Mimi be yet documentary be about this same Anas or no say cleaning system. And so that's true. But we are in the preparational state because what we have is so much. Or say then me wafa say they want to come and sponsor that documentary. And so really, no big deal. Yeah, they see a juma. Then we departed. Now Obaya no, he just put on the table a checkered bag. No, this is no so. I thought that was a bag. The next day, and on some frames so ne wafa Onina Kobon Command and Wofa to me say they are ready to come on board and feed on that documentary. About the second time, Odru one or the same checkered bag, Odisi upon also, and or the envelope to us, and the Wofa so unfair mammy. Now, we and the commitment he said they want to sponsor them. So, oh, really? How kind your alphabet me? Now the envelope now bring me scad them to me, man and co. Meet me, baby, what be frame? Oh, by ya, what is he come and say, Minge? Now, Wofa say, and the commitment at just on a documentary, no problem. Then that meeting also ended. Then the second time you say she bium, no say, ne wafa say, only some say that ben air check, the ben ye pesi ye document am say you, ora. And it's our friend me buy. Please tell wafans on to no boise. And also ye be kono so o yi envelope a free bag no so me wafa say me fema. I'm so catch over say me then I say. Nemum ye next meeting there, but that ne me nya the total cost of our documentary, because we need to speak to the television station. Me need time I make Independence Square. That's no, I'm not interested in that. Yeah, the TV stations need to telecast. The third one, then we've gone to check with some TV stations, knowing how much this documentary was going to cost, including the footages are on the ground near the best documentary. So the third one, we met at hotel my friends and Kempi skills and then I wrote everything on paper. Right there now, you better than you want so Miss Annan, maybe what for say me firm and say you figure name catch and then our next meeting I'll bring our sponsorship to this documentary. Now listen to me well. So when Nima Simbia Shasia, Nasa ube Joa Beki Kasabin some 4 tremia, no I am measured because I will be me I will slap you to death. We are talking about life and death matter here. Do you know how many people Anas, Anas, and this are bonny way or did you want this stupid entrapment, this stupid, foolish entrapment business? Ghanaian authorities could allow Anas to go scot-free with all of this. You can understand how passionate I have been when it comes to this little twitch. Now, my channel, anywhere, Obi sending message by said, Anas, Kwaku, go and teach Anas, a friend say, Kwaku, a lesson. Okay? Anywhere Anas will go is what I'm looking. Me upa famiko US what all the Kwaku na wabroso. You can take Canada, Japan to anywhere in the world. For me, anywhere they may be corner, my Canada, Japan, maybe I will pay corner because me yes came out. But anywhere, Anas is prepared to walk with me down the aisle. Swear to God, I'm too much ready. Asuma me catch me. Ni na ko Korea saying, Korea say, Abrante ni jam wa oko ya pe. Then how many days? It could be about 4 to 5 days. Then a colleague of mine, who was a journalist and I don't know, say out of we free edumanim, called me and said, Kwaku, you've met some guys. Uno make kodin komo. Charlie, that was a bad move. And I say, how? Henry. No, say yes. I say, you know what? Those guys now question, Anas nipa, almost man so mrame and trapel. And I say, but do you know the discussion it's about the documentary I'm about to do? And I say, no. Before I do a public court of public opinion, they put the snippets of this into the airwaves. They charge the atmosphere to the extent that one can say, what is that? One some near day banwa no soon no crying and I they need planning. And that's very evil and very wicked. This is what they did to Kwesi Nyantakyi. Abrante ni me can say we about 1 hour. Na me who me first video. Pam at the public domain, telling a story which is completely different from what we had in Afrikiko. Until, and almost about the afternoon time, almost a drop another video, bam, and also a bedaho. Hey, and when you check all these videos here, none of the issues about discussing them corresponds with what is in the video. And the video, they've put a narrative behind the video. A narrative that is not my word is about them. Ono no walk in them. Now me share video ni and I'm say, hey, someone here can is are we serious? This is how Aremia we we juma. Na boni me na mayo me documentary. So if said the way no enya ne kra ade na ma forward. But you know something, he needed to do that quickly to discredit Kwaku Annan of what he's about to do so that he can save his image. And from that day, I'm say, hey. And once who Anas took Kwaku Annan to media commissions, a media commission for MMA investigating me because I'm disgracing him, and that he has come to give me a bribe. Now listen and cross the dot and the T and make a sense of it. Say somebody who has said openly coming to do his documentary, and you go and give him money. Then after that, you go and make a narrative that you've come to give him bribe, a bribe to stop exposing you, or a bribe to do what? And from that day, now you. All this your self-style entrapment business, you are making it look as though you are fighting corruption. I will expose you until the world will end. Hey, make Kwaku. But you know what? A lot of people are now taking this thing to them. Many of them, he succeeded and destroyed them. But me, you can't. I'm also a journalist. So let's face it squarely. Okay? Let's face it squarely. Now, who be kick and say, me be attacking and ask for what? Ghana have be sure me dunya me areme out. When no lawyers, you can even have the whole million lawyers in Ghana. Me, I'm not scared. Me no be con boot for boot until this world me no ba could be free mo. It's a sworn enemy and a path we are not going to stop crossing. You think you are the most wicked boy? I am wicked than you are. And journalism, we all went to school. I said, journalism is not done. The face of the Anas, Anas, whose face is not covered. There's another Anas be there in the face I covered, only minimum. But this is the Anas I know, whose face is not covered. Maybe you haven't seen that face before. Tonight, maybe you did. Yes. Folks, take a listen. Look at this face. The Anas without a cover face. Look at him and check what he's doing in the room with those people. Take a listen.
Yeah. The paper is with the Ahmed?
Yes. You know what to discuss at the end. You talk a bit of politics.
No problem. That's my lovely passion. I like it.
So, again, we start with a normal conversation. We do business, are very interested in them. And you ask them personally, what can you do to help them?
I'll ask both of them what's your power and what's your relation to the projects and how you can confirm for us when you can handle the papers which we are replying.
So it's a girl.
I understood, but you misunderstood me. I know that, I know what you said. I get it.
Is everything okay?
Yes, everything okay. It's 4 6 over there. 5.
Is that
5 seats.
5 seats?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 seats is enough.
The girl.
Great. So with the image. Yeah. This is the Anas I know without the cover face. Onini. So if there's any Anas there with a cover face, then I don't know you. But if you are the same person, Wunia and Abramian Nkomo, you prepare, Papa. Somebody is asking me one of the stupid questions I don't want to. I have 18. I have your mother. Meaning 80 million. I have your mother. Okay? Don't come and speak rubbish. Don't just get out. This is the Anas without a face cover. If he's the same person, we are telling him say Omra mi. But say wherever he is, I tell him remain silent and shut up. You and your surrogate remain silent and shut up. Me my ready train. Me be yin for ni bi atremo. Na de me be ya kire wi ube hu say afi abranti e friend Ahmed Suale or video num. That's why I'm telling Ghana police is say nobody needed to send Ahmed Suale picture to anybody. We had dozens of videos. Because me give videos, dozens of videos. Ahmed Suale's image is in those videos. Woman in Crawford share them all these videos. These are all their own videos or unedited videos. Mumi Sano said, how did this video came out? Is he the one? If he's the one, then we'll know another time. Ahmed Suale was in the meeting. Womo ye rehearsals. Womo we are no me pia victim na abeshim. We juma bomba basuma ni. Take a lesson. Watch this video. Namubehu Ahmed Suale in the video. Take a lesson.
You choose more than this guy. I don't have anyone behind me. A lot of people we hired and they are maybe long time with us, but always they make mistakes. I have to take care about these by myself. I have to travel here and here and here because our investment is not in one country. If we don't follow like that, we'll lose.
You are preparing the after gas and after oil.
Yes.
I think this is very, very good for your government.
This is important for future.
Yeah.
So what's the next project we talk about? We talk about the hotel.
We talk about the hotel.
Now, I'm share image in there. The extreme right picture no is what Anas Anas put to a US was a ononene sa picture no ni three eyes yabo said no. But now below that picture is another guy sitting there, and that's not Anas. This is a gentleman by name Daniel Dazi. He's a Ghanaian working with the BBC. Now, we share picture me and both the left one and then the lower one, both was almost a par. And to move, Obi beka se me cover menim, me say, and soon or how a debra mine ebini. And I want the US court to understand them. Sadena shen and nimwa, watch your space was American court, any lawyers am be careful, sir, and any real face no. You meet me, I can. And no, any real face. No, there's a lot.